when you watch a movie called Transformers The Last Night, which is the third worst Transformers movie ever, you already know that the editing is absolutely atrocious. And just like Black Critic Guy said, this film have 6 editor who edited this film. Freaking 6? Don't ever do this again. It can show that the editing in this film is absolutely god awful and atrocious. You know what? I am done with the Michael Bay Transformers movie because it keeps getting worse and worse and worse of each movies. First, we got Revenge of the Fallen, which is the worst Transformers movie ever. Sorry about my grammar error. Second, we got Age of Extinction, which that has got to be one of the worst 3-hour movie I have ever witnessed in my entire life. And now we got Transformers The Last Night? Really, Michael Bay? Is this how you end base one of the most popular IP from Hasbro? Frick you, Michael Bay. That's not how you end a movie. My God, man, this film is absolutely atrocious. Like I said, like 3 times, not trying to be like a broken record. But I don't care. And I don't give a sitch. I say sitch, not the S word. I was just saying. Hello, fellas. What's the sitch? My name is Nick Hicks, Studio Lounge here. Tonight, I'm about to do a movie rant on Transformers The Last Night. Came out the year of 2017. Even I think the Emoji Movie is the worst movie of 2017. But more I think about this freaking movie, yeah, this film might be in my top 5 worst movie of 2017. But almost neck and neck. It's almost neck and neck. But still, this film sucks. Anyway, enough further ado. Let's get this over with. So, Transformers The Last Night, which is the last installment of the Michael Bay Transformers movie. Let's recap some Transformers movie I enjoy or not enjoy. I am not showing the image of the movie. I'm just gonna say it because I just want to get this over with. The first Transformers movie that came out 18 years ago. I'm not a huge fan of the first Transformers movie back in 2007. That's got to be one of the most overrated movie that came out in 18 years ago. I would have watched Kim Possible Graduation way better than watching a minute of the boring, pathetic Transformers movie. And of course, you got Revenge of the Fallen, which that is the worst Transformers movie ever, period. And of course, Michael Bay kind of redeemed himself by delivering one of the best Michael Bay Transformers and one of my third personal favorite Transformers movie, which is that of Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Even that film is not a masterpiece. Even the villain played by the same actor that he played as of the show from Thanksgiving, and of course he played as a character from Enchantress and Disenchanters, which is the 2 Enchantress movie that he was in, honestly. Yeah, his character in that movie was god awful. That has got to be one of the worst performances I ever seen from that guy, honestly. But at this point, I really enjoyed Dark of the Moon. That has got to be one of the most darkest out of the Michael Bay Transformers movie. Even Transformers Michael Bay is PG-13 the same way as a Ninja Turtle. Like, I would have watched Ninja Turtle any day watching these 3 god-awful Transformers movie. And I was really thoughting that Age of Extinction would be the better one. And holy moly, I cannot believe that film was literally jumped the shark. That film was absolutely atrocious because it was a 3-hour runtime They have some stupid villain, and of course they have the same actor that he's a voice as Dr. Dragon from Kim Possible. Michael Bay, you have audacity to have a actor that he's a voice of Dr. Dragon from Kim Possible. Yeah, don't ever do that again, Michael Bay. Don't you ever do that again. That was an insult to the Kim Possible fan base. Yeah, his character as an Autotron, I gotta say that is the worst Autobot I have ever seen in my life, and it's just as bad as the Spanish Autobot in this movie, and I'll get that in a minute. And now we got Transformers: The Last Night. And what do I think about this last installment of the Transformers franchise by Michael Bay? Well, it was exactly how I thought it was going to be. Yeah, this has got to be one of the worst way to end of the Michael Bay Transformers. And yeah, I think the Transformers fan base did not enjoy this film one bit. If you enjoy this film, that's fine. But for me, I freaking hate this film. It might be one of the worst Transformers movie ever, but nah, I just think Revenge of the Fallen is way worse because that film did not feel like a Transformers movie. That film felt like a comedy movie when you have two dogs doing doggy style and you have the camera zooming the camera in the guy's butt. Oh my god. Anyway, yeah, that film is way worse than Age of Extinction and The Last Night. But you can't change the fact that this film is absolutely messy. This has got to be one of the most messiest movie of the Michael Bay movie. Because this film was all over the place. The story was absolutely all over the place in one movie. And I'll get to the camera work in a minute. But before I get to my thought on this movie, let's talk about this god-awful rating that Rotten Tomatoes give. Transformers: The Last Night have came out in theaters on June 21st, 2017. It's been, well, actually, it's been 7 years since that film came out, but when you go to next month, it will be 8 years, so let's count as 7. Yeah, this film got a 16%. Freaking 16? You have got to be kidding me. And honestly, the same way, I'm not gonna research that rating to every single Transformers movie, or else it will be a longer video to deal with on a daily basis. So Transformers: Revenge of the Fallen got 19% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critic, and this film got a 57% for the audience, which is a little higher, but still is pretty bad. And of course, this film went lower, got an 18% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critic, and this film got a 50% for the audience. And maybe it's the same rating. No. Because Revenge of the Fallen got way more higher rotten as the audience more than Age of Extinction. But when you compare it to The Last Night, it is absolutely god-awful. Yeah, that's the fact that this film got a 16% on Rotten Tomatoes for the critic. And this film, on the other hand, this film got a 43%. I do not like that at all. Because it shows that Transformers: The Last Night is the lowest rating on Rotten Tomatoes for a Michael Bay Transformers movie. I'd rather watch The Ninja Turtle by Michael Bay and Bad Boys 1 by Michael Bay way better than watching a minute of this freaking movie. And of course, this film got a 5.2 out of 10 on IMDb. And I gotta say, that is absolutely god-awful. And when you compare this rating to Disney Snow White, yeah, it's just insult. And honestly, and I'll probably you guys are saying to yourself, well, honestly, Nick Hicks Studio Lounge, they always do this for a Michael Bay Transformers movie. I was really hoping that Transformers: The Last Night would be a box office hit, right? Well, I did my research before I do this video. But look at this. Look at this. This film is a box office flop. My god. Michael Bay, this is what you get for hire a 7 writer and 6 editor for editing this film and writing this film. Even I'm not a huge fan of using that term that Alec been doing, but I gotta say, but this film was written by toilet paper. Yeah, this film was written by toilet paper. It was all over the place, and I'll get to that in a minute. So Transformers: The Last Night is sadly a box office flop. Like, who cares? Depends earning $605.4 million worldwide. The film production budget was estimated to be between 217 and 216 millions. That is not good. Yeah, at this point, I honestly don't want to read this. Yeah, honestly, let's get the Razzie. And of course, this film did not win any Razzie, but you can't change the fact that this film got nominated for Worst Picture, Worst Actor, Mark Wahlberg, Worst Supporting Actor, Josh, Worst Supporting Actress, Alasha, Worst Director, Michael Bay, Worst Screen Combo, any combo of the character in the film, Worst Screenplay, and last but not least, worst remake, ripoff, or sequel. You effed this movie up, Michael Bay. And I hope you're very happy that this film was filled that way. And it can show that you was just doing this on purpose the same way as Tom Phillip made Joker 2. And newsflash, he did that film on purpose. Yeah, he did that film on purpose. Yeah, I freaking hate Transformers: The Last Night. It has got to be one of the worst. One of the worst action... No. One of the second worst action movie of 2017. Because the worst action movie of 2017... Like, come on. It's a freaking Justice League. Just because it's a superhero, that doesn't mean it count as action movie. Well, it have action scenes. So, of course, superhero count as an action scene. Action movie. So, that's a fact. Yeah, do I have any good thing about this film? Absolutely not. No, I do not have any good thing about this film. Not at all. Not even the one character played by the same actress that she was in Enter the Family and Dora in the Lost City of Gore. Even Isabella, she cannot save the movie one bit. Just because you have a young star actress in the movie, that doesn't mean I'm going to give some positive. No, this film deserves like a negative. Because that's what you get for hire 7 writer and freaking 6 film editor. And I'll get to the editor, and I'll get the editing and the writer in a minute, because I'm not attacking the writer and the filmmaker like who you think I am. Alec, aka Troll Band Together Fan 2001. I'm not like him. That's stupid. Anyway, so let's get to the negative. Yeah, let's get started. The story. I cannot believe that Michael Bay went too far by adding 7 writers. You have got to be kidding me. This is the main reason why that Michael Bay is in my top 5 worst director in Hollywood. Because his movie nowadays, back in years ago, are not good as it used to be. Because he made some great movie like The Rock, The Bad Boys 1, or Bad Boys 2, and and the new one don't count, honestly. Which, maybe, I don't know. Because Honestly, it's been a while I watched these Bad Boys movie, but I might watch it. I might rewatch the movie maybe in the future, but won't be this year. But it might be in August. I don't know. Depends what review I'm getting for Nick Hicks and the Power episodes, which is gonna be on Saturday. Stay tuned. Yeah, the editing is absolutely atrocious. It's horrendous. It's absolutely all over the place. And honestly, I don't want to talk about the story. The story is absolutely god-awful. And I gotta say, I hate to say this, but this film had way worse editing more than Revenge of the Fallen. And yes, I freaking hate Revenge of the Fallen screenwriting. But at least they are trying. But this film did not even try at all. Michael Bay did this film on purpose by adding 7 writers and 6 editing. Oh my god. Let's get to editing. Holy sitch. This has got to be one of the worst film editing I have ever seen in my life. The editing is absolutely god-awful and atrocious. And honestly, can you change the fact that this film have... Wait for it, guys. Where is it? There you go. So, I'm gonna use my pen. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He got 6 editor who edited this film. Michael Bay, you better be ashamed of yourself. First, you add a 7 writer, and now you add 6 editor. In your next movie, I don't want to see that again. And if you make that movie called Skippity Toilet, and I am not going to see it, don't ever do just like you did back in 8 years ago. And honestly, and I don't care, it was in the past, but bottom line is, we are still mad that the fact that this film got freaking 6 editor. And this is my reaction. Dinglebird! Yeah, that's my reaction after I heard that the fact that this film has 6 editing. And I'm gonna say it again. Oh, wait, that's a different one. Dinglebird! Yeah, that's better. Anyway, yeah, I do not like the editing. The editing was absolutely choppy, absolutely horrendous, and this is even worse than David L. Suicide Squad editing. And yeah, I honestly do not like that editing, but at least the editing is not as atrocious as the Last Night editing, because the editing in this film is absolutely give me a headache. And honestly, I am not joking to you guys, but when you watch this film, my apology, fellas, that was my mom texting me about pizza night, so that was very important, so that's why I had to cut that, and I can just reply my mom's text, because it's very important that you can reply your mom's text. Let's get back for this future presentation. I am not joking to you guys that the fact that this film was, I don't know, like this film was editing and camera shot in IMAX. Yeah, I am not joking. I am dead freaking serious. Like, when you watch this film, when you go to the action scene, it was filming in IMAX camera, and when they talk and doing nothing, you can see the black ball. Yeah, like this. Yeah, like that. My God, this has got to be one of the worst IMAX movie I have ever witnessed in my entire life. Because this film, my God, this film has some awful IMAX shot. Oh, for God's sake, I would have watched Thunderbolt, I would have watched Oppenheimer, and I would have watched Frozen 2, and I would have watched Deadpool and Wolverine, which is the best movie ever. Way better than watching a minute of this freaking Michael Bay Transformers movie. Yeah, even this film was really terrible, but the IMAX form is, my God, the IMAX form just made this film worse, honestly. And even worse of all, they are trying their best. Back then, they was trying their best, and they are so desperate to to have you guys to have a trip to Chicago to go see this film in IMAX. Really? So are you telling me that you guys are so desperate that the fact that you want to add this nonsense? Nice try, too bad, too sad. I am not going all the way to Chicago watching the third worst Transformers movie in IMAX. And mark my word, guys, who agreed that Oppenheimer and Thunderbolt are way better looking in IMAX? Even haven't seen Thunderbolt, and I'm not going to say the title name because it's really spoiler territory, is way better than Transformers The Last Night IMAX. Yeah, I really hoping to God that studio like Disney, Paramount, Warner Brothers, and Universal, and any studio period, I hoping to goodness that you guys are not doing your movie film in IMAX and black bars. Which every single time they do some action scene, they always switch it up. Like one time they have like black balls, and after that you have a IMAX form. It go IMAX form, black balls, IMAX form, black balls, IMAX form, black balls. Oh my God, you're getting my you're You are getting me a headache, Michael Bay. What the stitch is wrong with you? Nobody wants to see your movie when you have an IMAX form and bright bars. It's freaking distraction. It is annoying. It's getting people a headache. And no wonder this film was a box office flop because that was a terrible idea. Do you see Oppenheimer doing it? No, of course not. Do you see Frozen 2 doing it? Well, even the anime movie, but still. Do you see that movie doing it? No, of course not. And I swear to God, if I hear Alex say yes, shut up. And honestly, and do you see Thunderbolt did that? And if I hear someone say yes, which is including MCU haters, yes, the same way with Alex, shut the frick up. Yeah, do you see that movie was doing it? No, of course not. So why in the stitch that Michael Bay was was doing his film switches at IMAX form and black bars? You know what? I am tired of IMAX camera in the Michael Bay movie because first they did it to Age of Extinction and Revenge of the Fallen did not count because that movie came out in 2009. So yeah. So first they did it to Age of Extinction, which is bad enough, and now this film is 10 times worse IMAX form than Age of Extinctions. Yeah, Michael Bay, don't you ever do that again because it is getting people a headache. It is really distracting. And it is really freaking annoying. And of course, the characters. I do not like every single character in this freaking movie. Once again, Mark Wahlberg, once again, he was really terrible in this film. I like his actor, I really do. But still, as Kate, this has got to be one of the worst performances that Mark Wahlberg ever did. And of course, you got a chick who is a reporter. I did not like that character. She has got on my nerve. And of course, you got a character played by Anthony Hopkins. Anthony Hopkins, what the frick are you doing in this movie? No, not the legendary actor that he was in one of the second best movie of 1991. What's another in it? Oh, I don't know. It's the Silence of the Lamb. How on earth that you go to that movie, another good movie that you in, and now you in the stinker one? I am sorry, Hopkins, but this has got to be one of the worst words today, honestly. Because your performance is absolutely god-awful and atrocious. I like his actor, I really do. I don't want to disrespect them. Because I'm not a huge fan of disrespecting filmmakers. But Jason Fleetwood ever saw Michael Bay is a different story. Because those three cannot even direct the film at all. Well, that's going way too far, honestly. I'll take it back what I just said, and guys, just annoyed. And of course, the most disappointing characters I ever seen for a Transformers movie, which is other than the one girl played by Isabella. No, not Isabella from Encanto. Who you think you're fooling? You ain't fooling nobody. You ain't fooling nobody. No, I'm talking about the actress that she was in the Dora movie, As Is a Family, and of course, what else movie that she was in? Oh yeah, she was in The Last of Us. She was in Alien Romulus. And of course, she was in that freaking Matter Web movie. Well, even her character in Matter Web is the worst performance that Isabella ever did. But her character in this movie is a second time worse. Because her character is really disappointing. I was hoping that her character would be as good, as memorable as much as the young girl character in the Logan, which is X-23, I don't know. And of course, her young girl in War of the Planet of the Apes, which I'm really thinking that 2017 was a year about young girl empowerment. But Michael Bay, just tell her off stage. Michael Bay tell her, no, stay put. My God, you're treating her like she's a child. Please give her some action scene. Do you see the director who made Logan and War of the Planet of the Apes treat the actress like a child? No, of course not. So why Michael Bay doing this? Why is Michael Bay is doing this? Yeah, I wish her character deserved better than this. I honestly don't want to hate her character. I already know that she's a great actress. I really meant. But I'm sorry, not ever met because I haven't met her before. I don't know. Anyway, even I like her actress in the Dora movie, even I'm not a huge fan of that movie, but at least her character is pretty good in that movie. And of course, she was in the family movie. She was in Alien Romulus, which is the best performance to date. And of course, she was in that freaking Matter Lab movie. And you can't blame her for that, which is blame on Sony doing that crap. But still, her character was very disappointing. This has got to be one of the most disappointing characters of 2017. It's not because I have a crush on her, because her character is young, and if I have a crush on her, I might be a pedophile. So yeah, let's not do that crap. Yeah, her character was very disappointing. So, and I wish her character deserved better than that. But blame on Michael Bay, because Michael Bay, you can't even do a character development right in your movie sometimes. And Optimus Primes. Even I like his actor, but his character in this movie was absolutely terrible twist. And I did not like that twist to begin with. Because after I saw the trailer when Optimus Prime turned evil, okay, that is a huge slap in the face to the character, which is Optimus Prime. Optimus Prime in the other Transformers project, including Transformers 1, is way better than the evil version of Optimus Prime. And honestly, and even Black Critic Guy said that there was a scene in the movie when when Optimus Prime say, "Oh, get out of the way, human, get out of the way." Do you honestly think that Optimus Prime would say that? He's Optimus Prime. Prime would never say that. Prime is not evil. The only Prime who's evil, which is another Sentinel Prime for Transformers 1, which has a different story because his twist is way better and way better written. And even the director of Toy Story 4, he can do a way better Transformers movie, than Michael Bay, because Michael Bay was a author director who made the Transformers movie. Just because I enjoyed Dark of the Moon and kind of enjoying his first Transformers movie, that doesn't mean I will be liking his other Transformers movie. Like, his Transformers movie is absolutely shaky cam, all over the place, a bunch of joke. Why do we need a joke in the Transformers movie? That's stupid. And of course, honestly, we're gonna get to the worst character, the worst Autobot. Honestly, the second worst Autobot. Which other than the one Autobot, his name is Hot Rod. He speaks Spanish. I do not want to see a Transformers movie when you have an Autobot speaking Spanish. It go like this. Hello, my name is Hot Rod. You come to French. I am so terrible at Spanish. But really, Michael Bay, have you not even watched the original Transformers movie? And yeah, honestly, that's the same movie. You know what? Let's not talk about that. Anyway, yeah. How on earth that you're gonna make a Autobot and now you adding some Spanish? We do not want to see a Autobot speaking Spanish. Okay, it's bad enough that you add a actor who is the voice of Dr. Dragon, Jake the dog, and Bender the robot, and the bus driver, and the other project that John was in, and he was in Transformers Age of Extinction, was really bad. And now you tell me that you got the Autobot, speaking Spanish or French. I don't know. Yeah, this has got to be one of the the third worst Autobot I ever seen in the Transformers movie. But now let's get to the worst character in this movie, and this make me hate this film even more, which is none other than the villain of the movie. The villain in the movie is absolutely god-awful and horrendous. The one villain, played by the same actress that she's the voice of Namadi from Raya in The Last Dragon, and of course, Siren from Eternals. I love her as the two characters that she was in, which is the Walt Disney Company. Well, the other one is for Marvel, and the other one is for Walt Disney Animation Studio. But still, those both owned by Disney, so I count as Walt Disney Company. But I gotta say, Grima Chan, but this has got to be one of the worst performers that you ever did. And for God's sake, this is even worse than her character of Ice Age Collision Course. It was bad enough that she was in that movie, and why in the sitch that she was in this movie. Yeah, he deserved better than that. But honestly, I'm not gonna disrespect the cast and the casting crew, but this is easily Michael Bay's fault. Michael Bay, don't ever do this type of film ever again because this film was all over the place. And speaking of that, let's get the action scene. Holy heck! So do you remember that Revenge of the Fallen, Dark of the Moon, Age of Extinction, in the first Transformers movie of 2007 got a bunch of shaking cam? Well, honestly, the two good Transformers movie, they did an action scene very well. But for Revenge of the Fallen, Age of Extinction, it was bad enough. And when you look at the action scene for this movie, the action scene is absolutely shaky cam. I do not want to see a Michael Bay movie, which is a Transformers movie, when you have shaking cam, explosion, IMAX form, black bars, like, who died? Who's alive? Like, how? It's the one mystery we gotta do. And of course, you got the scene when Bumblebee speaking. We already hear him speak. Like, have you never seen some other Transformers movie when you have Bumblebee speaking? And the climax. So, do you honestly think that Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice? I swear to God, if I hear that title one more time, I am going to burn that title in the fire. Not take it right to Thursday, I was just saying for a joke. Anyway, so do you honestly... Sorry. So, honestly, do you remember that Batman v Superman have one of the longest climax that you ever seen? But when you go back in 2017 and Transformers the Last Night, this is just even longer than Batman v Superman climax. And I honestly did not I absolutely did not like the climax for Batman v Superman. Even that film is decent, but the climax is the biggest problem in the movie because it was too many action. Like, it is not bad, but honestly, it was just too much in that movie. Like, it was too much. But this film, this has got to be one of the worst climax I ever seen in the Transformers movie. And for God's sake, this is even worse than Revenge of the Fallen climax and Age of Extinction climax. What the sitch, Michael Bay? What the sitch? I'm done talking about this movie. And more I think about this movie, yeah, and my thought on this film just keep getting worse. All the flaws that I was honestly, of all the flaws I was talking about for this movie, yeah, this film. Honestly, I don't want to say this film is the worst Transformers movie, or else I will be praising Revenge of the Fallen. Guys, you're not gonna see me praising Revenge of the Fallen. So, do you honestly think I will play Revenge of the Fallen when you have a doggy style butt shot in a Michael Bay movie? In the Transformers movie, Optimus Prime died, and when you have Shaw above say Optimus, it's just annoying. Yeah, I'm really thinking Revenge of the Fallen is way worse. But this film might be even worse than Age of Extinction. Yeah, this film might be even worse than Age of Extinction. And I'll probably think to yourself, Nick, doing you hate this film? Why on the search that you buy this film on DVD? Well, number one, that's the fact that this film was for $5 on sale at the Walmart Bargain Man, and I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna pick this movie up to make fun of it. Anyway, so honestly, and secondly, I just want to complete some Transformers questions. So here in the future, I might get my hand on Dark of the Moon DVDs and Revenge of the Fallen DVDs because I am starting collecting some Paramount movies. So, and if I see that at Fly when I go to the mall next time, I will definitely get my hand on the two Transformers movie. Long as the prices don't be higher, like $30 and $40 or even worse, $50, yeah, I cannot pay that. So the only thing I can pay was another $20 movie and $5 movie and $10 movie. But $30, $40 and $50 and $100, no, I ain't paying that crap. Anyway, yeah, this has got to be one of this has got to be one of the worst IMAX movie I have ever seen in my life. And this film is just as bad as Age of Extinction and Revenge of the Fallen. And this film just made me pull the plug and to be done with the Michael Bay Transformers movie. No wonder this film got a bad rating on Rotten Tomatoes. No wonder this film got a awful rating on IMDb. No wonder this film was a box office flop. And last but not least, No wonder this film got nominated for Worst Picture, Worst Actor, Worst Supporting Actor, Worst Supporting Actress, Worst Director, Worst Screen Combo, Worst Screenplay, and last not least, Worst Remake, Ripoff, or Sequel. And all these 10 categories did not win any reward, period. But still, that's what you get for adding 7 writers and 6 editing. And I'm gonna give this, I'm just gonna give this stupid Transformers movie another 1 out of 10. Another 1 out of 10. Michael Bay, you went too far on that one, boy. It's the worst movie. Period. Well, not as bad as Cartoon Media the movie, but still. And this film definitely deserves a seal of Nick Cage Studio Lounge garbage. And if you don't like my stuttering, in my terrible grammar, Michael Bay, but honestly, you don't deserve this video to be professional. You don't deserve my hard work at all. Honestly, you made this film garbage on purpose by hiring 7 writers, 6 editor, and this film was camera shot in IMAX and black bars. Yeah, do you honestly think this? Honestly, do you honestly think you're gonna have my hard work, non-stuttering? What doing to you? You made this film on purpose. Yeah, you deserve my stuttering. Yeah, you deserve it, Michael Bay. I'm very sorry, dude. But yeah, F this movie. Anyway, guys, so that was my movie rant on Transformers last night. I am sick of tired of ranting on Transformers movie because every single time I rant on these Transformers movie, it make me don't want to like Transformers anymore because Michael Bay is the main cause that people are really tired of Transformers. And I hope you're happy, Michael Bay. And I hope you're happy because Rise of the Beef and Transformers 1 both was a box office disappointing. And do you honestly think that people really want Michael Bay to make more Transformers movie? No. I don't want Michael Bay to make another Transformers movie, or else it's gonna be as atrocious as The Last Night, Age of Extinction, and of course, Revenge of the Comedy. Well, the main reason why I say that is because that film did not feel like a Transformers movie. In fact, Revenge of the Fallen felt like a comedy movie instead of the action movie. Well, even you finally redeemed yourself back in 2019 or 2022. Well, I'm really thinking the movie that came out 2022. So I'm really thinking that Michael Bay back in 2022, back in 3 years ago, they released a movie called The Ambient. And I'm hoping to goodness that I will be watching that film maybe this year because I really want to check that film out. I heard so many good things about that movie, but I really hoping to God that film would be as good as a other good Michael Bay movie. But ever since years ago, he made some Transformers movie, right? The Transformers movie, Pain and Gain. Yeah, I'm gonna be watching Pain and Gain, and yeah, that film will be a butt cheeks. Anyway, guys, so what's my next rant on Paramount Month? Well, I don't know. I might do a redo rant on The Last Airbender back in 2010. So I might do that for the 15th anniversary. So what is my next review for Paramount Month? Well, due to Mission Impossible: The Final Awakening is coming out the same day as Lilo and Stitch, and to be honest, sorry Stitch, but I am very excited for the final Mission Impossible movie than Lilo and Stitch. Yeah, sorry Stitch, I know you're cute, but honestly, it's time to have Tom Cruise turn. And Stitch, you can go last, boy. You can go last. Thank you. No problem. Anyway, so I will be doing movie review on the first Mission Impossible movie, the one who started it all for this wonderful franchise. It almost been 30 years since this movie came out. Because it came out in 1996. So this year is a 29 year. And when you go to next year, next year is 2026. Yeah. When you go in 2026, this film will be 30 years. Yeah, just like 1995 is 30 years. But when you go to 1996, it's going to be 30 years since Mission Impossible, came. So stay tuned for my review on the very first. Sorry about my grammar. Stay tuned for my movie review on the first Mission Impossible movie, and stay tuned for my movie rant on the sequel, and stay tuned for my movie review on the third one, the Ghost movies, of the fourth movie, Fallout. What else? The one that came out in 2015 or 2014. I don't know. Yeah, anyway, so stay tuned for all of my Mission Impossible review leading up to that new Mission Impossible movie, The Final Awakening, which is going to be very sad to see that franchise go, honestly. Long as they make a prequel and spin-off and animated, anything would be good. But still, Tom Cruise cannot do this much longer because this legend is 62 years old. So, getting kind of old. And don't worry, I'm not disrespecting old people. That's not me. So, back I was saying, Tom Cruise cannot do this much longer. All these stunt, all these action poses, all these action scenes that he's been doing on a daily basis. Yeah, he cannot do this much longer because he's 62 years old. So, I just don't want him to hurt himself the same way as Harrison Ford hurt himself in that Indiana Jones 5 production back in 2023, and that was a nightmare. So once again, stay tuned for my movie review on Mission Impossible 1996. You know what? F this movie, F Michael Bay for destroying this movie, and this is the main reason why this film got panned review on IMDb, box office bomb or flop, and this film got a ton of Razzie nomination. Even if it didn't win, but that doesn't mean you're safe. No, this film is in danger back then. If you want to watch a way better movie back in 2017, just go watch The Babysitter. Just go watch The Greatest Showman. Go watch Blade Runner 2049. And go watch one of my favorite movies that came out that year, which is none other than the Lego Batman movie. Go watch the Lego Batman movie. It's a way better IMAX 2017 movie than Transformers The Last Poop. The Last Night, that's a set. What kind of insult is that? Kind of made me go anime, don't it? Anyway, so stay tuned for my movie rant on The Last Airbender. My God, it's gonna be even worse. And stay tuned for my movie review on the very first Mission Impossible movie, the one who started it all, and thanks to Tom Cruise and the directors. Anyway, so if you enjoyed this video, if you want to see more of this Transformers nonsense in the future, please, I highly recommend you hit that subscribe button, turn notification, and share it with your whole family. But if you don't enjoy my video, that's fine. I just don't feel like doing jokes, honestly, at this point. So, yeah, I already know this rant is easily even longer than my other video, honestly. Well, honestly, it's because of all that stuttering and all that pause I have to do. So, hope you guys understand. But if it's not, my apology. Anyway, so this is Nick Hicks Studio Lounge signing off, and Michael Bay, I am so proud of you that you're not making this type of film ever again. Because honestly, your film nowadays are just as good as much as the Bad Boys movies and Rock. Because you finally redeemed yourself. Because after Transformers The Last Night, you will think to yourself, you know what? I made a terrible film, and I won't make them ever again. And people, do me a favor. Stop doing a hashtag called Restore the Transformers Bayverse. Nobody wants to see another Michael Bay Transformers movie because you guys are acting as bad, as much as the Snyder Cortez. And honestly, don't want that because that is really annoying. Anyway, this video is signing off, and you guys have a great night. And Michael Bay, I'm very sorry about my arrangement, but once again, I am so glad that you finally redeemed yourself. And let's keep it that way. Wait a minute. Wait a second. Oh wait, what's the next Michael Bay movie in the future? Not the Skibidi Toilet.